Welcome back to the Morning Brew. Good to have you today. I'm Larry Ahrens, and Aaron Muffaletto is along, and we provided Lonnie with a little coffee, so he's ready to go today, too. I want to introduce to you, that's it. I want to introduce to you County Commissioner Lonnie Talbert, who's with us here on the Morning Brew. Hello,
Good
Lonnie.
morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How
How are you
are
guys?
Great. How are you doing today?
I am wonderful. Like I said, a little earlier than usual getting up, but that's okay. This is for a great opportunity to come out and spend some time with you guys. Thanks for having me today.
Of course.
Really,
Thanks
pleasure,
for being here.
pleasure.
Wow.
We're going to talk about a small business event that you've organized.
Yeah, it's exciting, and thank you so much for being a part of it, Larry. I mean, I
Yeah.
know we're going to have you on to talk about marketing your business, which is critical, but January 29th at Office Alternatives off of Paseo del Norte and Lang. Deb Austin, who owns Office Alternatives in the district, District 4, has been gracious enough to donate the space, and we're going to have 4 business leaders from the community come in and talk to anyone who wants to come about what you'll want to know or remember about starting your business. And so far, we've already had 30 RSVPs, which to me, that sounds
That's pretty
amazing.
big.
Ah, we're good.
New Mexico isn't really big in RSVP, and when you have that many, even
Man.
10 days in advance, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, we're trying to get the word out. You know, obviously social media, having a draw like Larry. We also are going to have Mike Stanford, who was the prior CEO and now at Payday, president of Payday. And then Ken Carson, Nexus Brewery. A prior banker, reformed banker, who's now a brewery owner, who's having phenomenal success. Who would have thought, right?
He is.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what all bankers need to do: go into brewery business. And forget about lending money. Just go make money.
You've
There
been in
we
the
go.
banking business. Have you thought about it?
I have. I've thought about going into my own business many times, but the financial services world just keeps drawing me back.
I know, they keep pulling you back in.
It does.
So the whole idea behind this is to provide small business owners or would-be business owners some ideas, some thoughts, some direction.
Exactly. We talk about the tagline at the county is Bernalillo County, we're more than you think. And we're really trying. About 2 to 3 years ago, they started what's called an Increment of One program, which is really connecting with small businesses. And if every small business can just add 1 job a year, think about that, right? How many jobs would we create? We could create between 12 and 13,000 jobs a year, 1 per small business. Well, there isn't a company in the world that's going to relocate here and start with 12,000 jobs. Not going to happen.
No.
Right? We keep hearing about downsizing, which is terrible. And right now, this is all about jobs in this economy, is my thought. So this will help small business owners, people thinking about starting a business, people already in business who want some additional support and help from leaders such as yourself and other great community and successful business owners. And we think we're going to have even Gene Bernstein from Flying Star.
Oh.
So we know Flying Star has been in town for, 25 plus years and been very successful. So.
And one of the big things I hear is a lot of people have these great ideas, but don't have the funding to start. Now, is this a good summit that people can come to? Might think, okay, well, I have this great idea. I just don't have the funding. What do I do now?
Exactly. There's going to be four parts to it. There's going to be a marketing component that Larry will lead. There will be a business plan component that I think Gene's going to talk about. I think Mike and Ken will talk about how to take that plan and actually put it into action, looking into how do you fund your business. You know, many times, most small businesses, almost 90% fail in the first year. That same number fail in the second year. And most of the time, it's because they're undercapitalized and they just don't understand what it takes to be a business owner. A lot of us think, oh, I can go get an LLC, I get a TIN number, and I'm good to go, right?
Yeah, much more than that.
TIN number, tax identification number, and I'm ready for business. Well, that's just not how it is anymore. You really have to put some thought and really have some support in order to be successful.
And on that note, do you think the city, the state is doing more to help businesses or kind of restricting people?
You know, Aaron, that's a great question. I think that it's it's a little bit of both. I think the city, and I think Mayor Barry says, how can we remove obstacles to successful business?
Right.
That's how I view it from the county.
Yeah.
How do we remove obstacles so people, rather than say, oh, we need more regulation, I think the state has done a good job at removing some restrictive tax components that help manufacturing and help large business.
Right.
But I think we can do a better job at actually helping small business. Now, one thing we have done is, I know there's been some changes at the state level with the PRC that help people get their business started faster. And I think Assistant Secretary Ken Ortiz has actually done some great work. So I'm seeing some progress. But you look at the states around us, and we've got to be that same level of open your arms. How can we help you be successful? Get out of your way. Versus sitting there saying, okay, you know, you got to go do this, you got to do this, you got to do this.
Here's a form. Yeah, and all that
exactly.
stuff.
You know, it's like, here, go to window A, B, and C, and it's the same person.
It's
They
so
just transfer
silly.
between A, B, and C,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people that I know that have done these small, and I mean, I think it's the best way to learn about business is to actually go and start your own business.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how I did
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
And when I even did that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. I was probably 21 when I was
Wow.
doing this.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just so difficult. So then you think of somebody who has this great big idea, and it's like, how do you do this?
Well,
It's all these little steps. It's just, if you're somebody who has this little idea and you're just like, oh, okay, well, I want to sell art.
Right.
I mean, you have to go through all these
Right.
steps. It
There-
seems kind of
yeah. There are a number
more
of steps,
obnoxious than anything.
and the more help you can get. And I think that, you know, when you think of a small business owner, they're a risk taker,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we've got to reward them, we've got to recognize them, we've got to hold them up as, hey, way to go.
Yeah.
But let's also put a support network around them. Let's have summits like this, and let's guide them and direct them where they can find out about what to do. Because you're right, there you can go buy a book off the shelf, but most
Yeah.
small business owners are like, hey, I'm going to start a business. Let's just go do it.
Right.
Right.
Let's have the experience. I've
Exactly.
noticed in talking to some of your county commission colleagues that regardless of political persuasion, everybody's in on this.
Oh, yeah.
The whole county commission speaks with one voice on this what's it called again?
Oh, increment of one.
Increment of one.
right,
Yeah.
Kind of one,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
Which-
it's very unified in that regard. I mean, I think we all recognize the economy moves when people are working.
Yeah.
The economy improves when people are working. And when jobs aren't being created, whether it be one job at a time or 10 jobs, and people are sitting at home, they're not being productive. They're not being productive themselves, and they get down, and they're not being productive in order to pay their taxes
Right.
and in order to keep the economy moving. I mean, I don't think it's I try to keep things very simple. I don't think it's harder than that.
Yeah.
People working helps the economy.
Yep. And, you know, I will say the city, the county, a lot of groups have been doing a lot as doing these workshops. So this is great that there is more of this. And it's nice that you have these different workshops, the marketing and
Right.
the financial and all of this, because not a lot of people get all of that at
Right.
one workshop.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's a one-stop deal.
It is,
Yeah.
and that's what I hope that this will be. Is I hope that we have an overrun of people that are saying, "Hey, I can really use this information," and go out and do something with it, and make some connections too, right? I mean, Larry, you and I have talked many times.
Oh, yeah.
Small business is all about networking.
Yeah.
It's
Sure.
all about meeting
Hey,
people.
what are you doing? Yeah,
Exactly.
what can I learn from you? What can you learn from me?
Well,
That's what it is.
and that's why I've been a big proponent and supporter of Innovate ABQ downtown,
Yeah.
trying to bring that incubator concept, live,
Right.
work, play, bring people together who can share ideas, share that intellectual and capital, so that they all benefit from that.
All right, so to review, Lonnie has put together a little small business summit, if you will.
Yeah.
It's a couple of hours. You're going to learn a lot in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Details again on the
Yeah.
29th.
January 29th at Office Alternatives. That's 4801 Lang Avenue Northeast, Suite 110. It's from 5:30 to 7:30. We're going to have a great host of guests, including Larry, Mike Stanford, Ken Carson, and then we're going to have a network mixer afterwards. So during that 2-hour period, we'll have some discussion, and then we'll be able to congregate together and talk about, share ideas, business owners and hosts. It'll be great. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Very nice.
Good.
So to RSVP, you email that
Yes,
email?
you can email the county. You can email District 4 at burnco.gov.
Okay.
You can get a hold of Shawn Perry-Turner, who's with the county in the
Right.
Economic Development Department. So if you just call the county direct number, ask for Shawn, she can take your RSVP as well.
Seats are filling
A lot
up
of fun.
fast.
They are. I mean, I'm excited. I think within a couple of days we had 12. I hear we're up to 30, and hopefully we're even more now.
Let's
Well, with
pack
your
the
name on
place.
there, Larry, I mean, that,
Oh, yeah, that's-
now that
that's
I
it.
know
that was the
Larry's
draw.
there, I'm going to have to go now.
Exactly. I'm going just so I can see him.
You can see me anytime.
I know, it's great.
Lonnie, I appreciate it very much, and we can have you back again. We'll talk other things
Yeah,
county
thank you so much.
Oh, I'd love
another
to.
time.
Thanks for
you know.
having me, and this is great. Thanks for what you're doing.
Yeah,
Oh, thank
Thanks for
you.
absolutely.
sharing with.
Hey, it's the Morning Brew. County Commissioner Lonnie Talbert is with us today here on the program. Thanks for joining us. You can hang out and drink all the coffee you want.
Excellent. Thanks.
Okay? All right. Aaron, I'll be right back. We're going to talk with Anna Loisel, relationship coach. She's next, later in the show. What's going on at Albuquerque Little Theater, new production by Agatha Christie. We'll talk about that coming up here on the Morning Brew.